Good evening and welcome to the Lokomotiv Stadium in Tashkent for this AFC Champions League Match Day 3 Group H game between Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors FC, team widely expected to win this group. Never mind this game, joint top after 2 games with Gamba Osaka. Both teams with 4 points from 2 games, separated only by a goal difference. Tampines Rovers, you'll have noticed, at the very bottom of that table. They're desperately looking for their first point, or indeed points, and also their first ever AFC Champions League goal. 2-0 loss to Gamba Osaka and a 1-0 defeat against Shanghai United for them so far. 2 teams in the tunnel. On the right hand side, Jeonbuk in their changed kit. It's a white kit with light blue trimmings. Meanwhile, Tampines Rovers on the left, their captain Yasir Hanapi was just in shot there in all black with a bit of gold and yellow in there for good measure. Kick-off probably about 8 or 9 minutes away. Final preparations made before the teams head out to the tunnel. Part of this feast of football coming to you across the AFC Champions League at the moment. 120 group games this year played across regionalised hubs from April through to July. We've already had 60 West group matches, which have whittled down 20 teams from the West down to 8 who've reached the round of 16. Now we're in the process of whittling down 20 of the best teams from the East to 8 who will also join those West teams in the round of 16. Both regions staying separate right until we get to the final, meaning that the final will pit the best of the East against the best from the West. 2-legged final, 2-legged semi-finals. Just 1 leg for the round of 16 and the quarter-finals. But for Tampines Rovers, substitutes, you can see there their ambitions are a bit less lofty right now. This their maiden AFC Champions League campaign. The Eastern-based club, one of the most successful in the region. They've been runners-up in the Singapore Premier League in 4 of the last 5 seasons and have qualified due to benefiting from this newly expanded continental showpiece. We've never had 40 teams in the AFC Champions League group stages until this year. So the team that finishes top of this group, Group H, will be guaranteed a round of 16 spot. But if you finish second, that may well not be enough. 3 of the 5 best second place teams those particular rankings will make it through to the round of 16 as well. We already know the fixtures for the round of 16 West Zone. Now the kick-off is just above 5 minutes away. Teams in the tunnel almost ready to head out. Those West 16 games for settlers from Iran up against Istiklal from Iran facing Al Hilal from Saudi Arabia. Similarly, it's an Iran versus Saudi Arabia clash when Tractor will meet Al Nasser, and then an all-United Arab Emirates meeting as Sharjah will play Al Wada FSCC. Those matches to be played across the 13th and 14th of September. The East round of 16 games on the 14th and 15th. Then in late September there's quarter-finals, semi-finals in mid-October, all building up to a 2-legged final. First game on the 21st of November, the second on the 27th. But that is a long way away right now. That's where Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors will want to be. They've already won this competition twice before, 2006 and 2016. Victory today would be another small step towards that lofty aim. They started the season looking for the treble, but that's no longer possible after crashing out of the domestic Cup competition. The Korean FA Cup, a very disappointing defeat against lower division opposition. Team's just about to walk out onto the pitch, led by referee Ahmed Yaqub Ibrahim from Jordan. His assistant referees Ayman Faisal Obiat, also from Jordan. And then a Qatari pair also involved in officiating. Second assistant referee Saud Ahmed Amakela and Abdul Rahman Al Yassim is our fourth official. So referee Ibrahim grabs the match ball. Here we go for this match day 3 of Group H. Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors very much the strong favourites on the right hand side. Out ahead Tampines Rovers in the black and yellow or gold. Jeonbuk in their changed white kit, knowing that a win today would take them into 7 points from 3 games. Realistically fighting with Gambro Osaka to finish top of the group. A moment of mutual applause between the two teams, of course. Handshakes very much not in vogue these days for obvious reasons. Start by looking at Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors, and really it's not so much a question of changes so much as who's left. Park Sung-ho in the midfield, Lee Yong the fullback, Min Hoyek and the keeper Lee Bong-yong, the only 4 players to survive from the starting 11 that drew 2-2 against Gambro Osaka. An entertaining game. 4 goals within the first half an hour or so. Gambro were 2 goals up, and then a brace from Brazilian striker Patrick gave Gambro Osaka a point. Coin toss between the two captains, Lee Yong and Yasir Hanapi. Yong on the left, Yasir Hanapi on the right. That's all done and dusted. Kickoff really is underway here now at Locomotive Stadium as we take a look at Tampines Rovers, still seeking their first goal or point in the AFC Champions League. They've made plenty of changes today. Mark Ryan Tan, star striker Boris Kapitovic, centre half Sahaki Kaizan and fullback Van Shah all rotated out, none due to injury as far as I understand. So very much a shuffling of the pack from head coach Barnelais. Kapitovic in particular could be used as a bit of a physical threat for Tampines off the bench. Remember, of course, 5 substitutes available to both head coaches, and that additional 2 from 3 in the way that things were for so long will give both managers greater tactical flexibility to use their benches as appropriate. So kick-off moments away then. Tampines Rovers up against it here. 2 defeats so far, still yet to score in the AFC Champions League. And work so hard to get here, they'll be desperate to make life awkward for Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors. Jeonbuk very much the favourites at the week. Jeonbuk attacking from left to right in this first half. The countdown is on. So Tampines Rovers, after 2 defeats and 2 games in which they have failed to score, try and turn that around today against Jeonbuk Hyundai's Motors side, who are probably the favourites to win Group H. And group leaders Gambro Osaka currently on goal difference. Early free kick here for Tampines, who are attacking right to left as we look at things. And the black with the yellow or gold trimmings. Jeonbuk in their changed the pitch, shooting from left to right. I'm sounding sick. The Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors coaches made a lot of changes today. Only 4 survivors from the side that drew 2-2 against Gamba Osaka, and that, probably as much as anything else, is down to the intensity of the fixture list. Got to play 6 matches across 15 days. Really is quite a grueling schedule. Dugout. Brian Lass, his team have experienced how tough it is to be on a stage like this. They've had plenty of success domestically, and no doubt their supporters groups, the Yellow Brigade and the Yellow Knights, will be watching from distance. Of course, no fans, for very obvious reasons, in here at the 8,000 capacity Locomotive Stadium, which has regularly hosted AFC Champions League matches since local home side PFC Locomotive debuted in the competition in 2015. First offside of the game, the flag up against Hyundai. On that replay, just a yard offside. For those maybe joining us for the first time watching the coverage of this competition, maybe wondering, no video assistant referee available in any form, so it's very much up to the refereeing team on the field, and their decision is very much final. Chance for Jeonbuk. It's a good cross as well, and the keeper got taken out. Buhari's in some serious trouble here. He's clutching his left thigh. And he just got taken out by Gustavo, who was very much jumping innocently for the ball, no malice in it, but clattered right into Buhari. Very an intimidating physical presence for Jeonbuk, and if they can get good service into him, he really is a nuisance, one of the stars of just this group of the tournament, to really keep an eye on. Has 5 goals in 14 games domestically so far this season. Scored the penalty in the 2-1 win against Shandra United on match day 1. Just been very open. Kim Sang-sik, who we just saw there leaning on his dugout about his targets for Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors this season, about chasing the treble. Last season they got a domestic double, won the league and cup titles, edging out close rivals Ulsan Hyundai, but struggled in this competition. Just 7 points from 6 games, seeing them go out at the group stage. Ulsan Hyundai, of course, went on to win the AFC Champions League for the 2nd time in their history. Pushnak loses out. Great ball forward, and Barrow lays it off for Gustavo. Gustavo back for Barrow, and simple as that. 1-0 Jeonbuk after just 5 minutes. A devastating counter-attack. Lovely ball into the feet of Barrow, and selfishly played it across to Gustavo, who in turn returned the favour. Goes from bad to worse for Tampines Rovers. Defence split open so easily, just one ball through to Barrow. And they were all over the place. Gustavo very calm and composed. Barrow just wasn't going to miss from there. So Modi Barrow's goal separates the teams. He's a name that might bring about memories for football fans across the world. He's had a well-travelled career from his younger days in Sweden, then moving to Swansea City in 2014 from Östersunds. Spent 3 seasons at Swansea, loan spells with Nottingham Forest, Blackburn Rovers and Leeds United. Played for Reading for 3 years as well, until last season joining Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors. Still only 28 years old, the Gambian winger, so you like to think that he's going to be entering the peak years of his career. First realistic chance for Tampines to fortunate attack in this game, but Boschner just couldn't keep it alive. Nothing like a goal to settle your nerves. It's exactly what Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors would have wanted, particularly knowing that Tampines Rovers' game plan would likely be with this 5 at the back system they've employed to sit back and try and frustrate the Korean giants. First corner of the game. Chance for Jeonbuk to have a 2-0 lead already inside the first 10 minutes. Set piece won by Hyundai. First corner of the match. What can Jeonbuk make of it? It's a training ground move towards that back post. Still kept alive. Flicked on and might fall for the shot, just over. Woo Jae-moon didn't quite get the best connection on it. Fell so kindly for him to hit it. Still forced a good save from Sazwan Buhari. He's been in the walls in goal for Tampines. Second corner in succession. Again, it's that back post move. Probably is something that Jeonbuk have been working on in the very limited opportunities that these teams have had to train. For the most part, in between games, it's been about recovery and then a bit of analysis of the next opponent and of possible set-piece moves in the hotel room. They've not necessarily had a lot of time on the training pitch to work things out. That's one big advantage that Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors have, is that this run of group games comes in the middle of their domestic season, so they already have match fitness from playing regularly. Young. Well, kept alive by Gustavo Sunday. And the assistant coach to the Warriors title win in the Singapore Premier League in 2014, became the Tampines assistant coach in 2018 and then head coach in 2019. He's someone to keep an eye on, one of the most exciting young coaches in this part of the world. Talks about how he wants his team on the biggest stage, so they have to play the best teams, and it comes no better than teams that are champions of other leagues. Of course, Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors, the perennial league winners in Korea, chasing a 5th straight K-League 1 title this season. It is a very difficult test, and Eddie very much backed up against the wall stuff. It's a neat touch from Nakamura, but then can it help it on for the overlapping run of Najib down that right flank. Fan Najib, who has come closer than anyone else to scoring Tampines' first ever AFC Champions League goal. Again against Shanghai United, hit the post after being set up nicely by Petrovic. Petrovic, who scored 12 in 12 games for them domestically this season, but it's been a bit of a frustrated figure due to something of a lack of service in their first 2 Champions League games, so left him out today. They've given a first AFC Champions League start to Manhakim Ibrahim. Decent ball in towards Gustavo, but he's just struggling to get himself placed in the right way to put it on target. There's just a touch offside as well. That's all you need to be, of course. It's a very comfortable and impressive start to this game from Jeonbuk. So here goes Gustavo. He's got round the man as well and finished off beautifully. 2-0 Jeonbuk. An assist and now a goal for Gustavo. His 2nd goal in this AFC Champions League group stage. His first from open play. A turn and a spin, and then the finish as well. Glorious centre forward play. Just watch him hold off his marker. Experienced defender Daniel Bennett trying to stop him, to no avail. Great strength, power, pace, and then precision on that near post finish. So good from Gustavo. They weren't in control before. They really are now. 2-0 in just the 14th minute. And one does fear a bit for Tampines Rovers based on the start to this game. I don't blame them if heads dropped a bit. They've already lost last Friday and then on Monday. And Gustavo could be through for number 3 here. It's fallen kindly for him and he's not going to miss. It's another one. 2 in 2 minutes for Gustavo. And it's 3-0 to Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors already after just a quarter of an hour here. Well, whilst one can praise Gustavo's finishing for the 2nd goal, for the 3rd you really have to look at the defence. That is an awful moment for Amaral Haikal at the back. He just ends up turning the ball straight to one of the deadliest strikers in Asia. And Gustavo just wasn't going to miss. So 3-0 now already. barely had time to say that this could get really horrible for Tampines Rovers before Jeonbuk went and scored from the kickoff, and that really was a preventable goal from Emre Haykal. They've got the ball, Tampines. They just need to keep it for a bit and try and recompose themselves. It's a horrible place to be in a situation like this. Never really found their feet in this game. And they look a bit shell-shocked. That's the man who's got to try and pull things together on the touchline, Akbar Nawaz. Inside from Bosniak. This is better from Tampines. Nakamura just runs into Modu Barrow. It into play by Hyundai. Just overran, but kept alive by Young. And that's late. No advantage coming of it. Seemed like Emre Haykal's managed to escape a possible yellow card for this, but no doubt about the foul, it was clumsy. Hyundai in some discomfort, but back up on his feet at least, and not interested in further medical treatment, which is a good sign. Feels a touch early to say, but we have seen some thrashings in this AFC Champions League group stage matches thus far. Bosniak won't be able to keep that one in. Had a pair of games that both finished 7-0 in Group I the other day. Daegu thrashing United City 7-0, and then Beijing FC, a very young second-string Beijing FC side, because first team are back at home in Chinese Super League action, being defeated 7-0 by Mercedes Karasaki Frontale. Unless Tampines can sort things out at the back, you do fear that we could end up in that kind of region again. Tampines, who've had such a journey to get here, perennially over the years, often been in the AFC Cup, where they got to the quarterfinals in 2005, 2006, 2007 and 2016. They were leading the AFC Cup group. They were in Group H in 2020 with 7 points when the tournament was cancelled due to COVID-19. In 2021 they're back on the very biggest stage for the first time, their maiden AFC Champions League campaign so far. Making things difficult at this top level, where she really are playing the very, very best teams from across the continent. Lovely composed passing football from Jeonbuk here, looking for a way through. It's a good tackle by Emre Haykal. Nati is being pushed in the back, so wins. Oh no, he doesn't win the free kick, pardon me, it's given the other way round. Referee Ibrahim from Jordan seeing a different picture to what I've built there. Here's Gustavo in the channel, making mischief. Tries to win the corner, fails to do so. Well held off by Ryan Seniza. Short by Tampines, who do like to pass their way out from the back, but not the best thing to do at 3-0 down, and should be 4-0 down. And Gustavo will know that he probably should have a hat-trick inside the first quarter of this game. 2 goals already. A big chance laid up on a plate. Gets it all wrong. I was just about to say, for a team sticking to its principles, but it's a real test of them to be playing out from the back in this situation with the scoreboard as it is. Almost paid the ultimate price for it, Tampines. Not quite able to latch onto that, but was offside anyway. Maybe just joining us a touch late to this one. Already missed 3 goals. Adu Barrow giving Jeonbuk the lead in just the 5th minute, assisted by Gustavo. And the striker's gone on to score 2 himself, within 2 minutes in the 14th and 15th minute. Put on towards that man Gustavo. Young sets it wide. 3 in the box, including Gustavo. Falls to Hyundai to hit it. And it was going in at that far post. It's a good block from Daniel Bennett, a veteran defender, 43 years old, using all his experience here to be in the right place at the right time. Barrow was there to turn it in, as was Gustavo. It might have even been going in anyway. Third corner of the game for Jeonbuk. Again they go far post. Sazwan Buhari does well coming out of his goal. Jin Song with the long throw routine. It's a good long throw as well. Headed away by Bennett. Mehmedovic is there. Tries to set Bosniak free on the counter. Quickly snuffled out though. As has pretty much anything Tampines have managed going forward. Jeonbuk keeper Lee Bong-yong has been very much a spectator for the vast majority of this game, apart from the odd touch of the ball when in possession. Didn't quite fall as Jeonbuk wanted it to, swept up by Nakamura. Getting the high press on. Don't look really like playing their way out of it, Tampines. That time Amrel Haikal wins the throw off Gustavo. Like any good striker, diligently hunting his hat-trick. He's got a long time to get it here. Barrow helps it on. Just looking for the return pass, didn't make it there. Tampines have at least managed to get a bit of possession in the last 10 minutes or so. I won't call it stability in the game, but at least settling into it somewhat. So full ball forward for Bosniak, who hustles a throw-in for Tampines. Still looking for their first ever AFC Champions League goal. And this their third match. Meanwhile, at the other end of the field, they've already conceded 3 today. Gustavo's been working on that celebration in his bathroom mirror in the hotel room. These teams bubbled up here in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Nakamura. Lovely footwork from Nakamura. Hanapi. It's a nice turn. He's just trying to find Mehmedovic. Good block from Yasir Hanapi. Commentated on both of Tampines' games so far as well as this one. The 2-0 defeat to Gamba Osaka and the 1-0 loss to Shanghai United, and can confirm what that man there, Kim Sang-sik, said in his press conference, the Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors boss, that good side Tampines. They keep the ball really well, intelligent in possession. They just have lacked a bit of cutting edge in the final third so far. So that's a bit of a tame header from Najib straight at Lee Pong-young. Has to make his first save of the game, but not much of a save to make. Kim Sung-dae will get to this one. Wins the throw. Tampines in match day 2 suffering a bit of a sucker punch, really. They had the better of the game against Shanghai United, but in the 87th minute Jiachakul scored the winner to condemn them to a second straight defeat. And they looked set to get at least a point, if not 3, and they might well have conceded number 4 here. Not quite. Gustavo's header just wide, but again it's that link up between Modu Barrow and Gustavo. Worked so well for Jeonbuk's first goal tonight. Not the worst cross. You can see it even from just looking at Gustavo. He's got a height advantage over Bennett, Saniza and Najib, the 3 centre-backs for Tampines. So Hanapi protests his innocence. In the hoik, down from Hanapi's challenge, and the foot was high. Particularly in this modern era, you're not going to get away with a challenge like that going unpunished. Young down the line. Kim Sung-dae stopped by Haikal. He's giving it straight back to Kim Bok-young, who can't take advantage. That's one for the ball boy to run off and fetch as we pass the half-hour mark here at the Lokomotiv Stadium. Jeonbuk in control here on this ground, which is home to the 3-time Uzbekistan Super League champions, PFC Lokomotiv. Probably one of, if not the most notable game to be played here was when Lokomotiv defeated Saudi giants Al Hilal SFC in the 2016 round of 16. Before Lokomotiv went on to lose against the eventual runners-up Al Ain of the United Arab Emirates. All the games in this group and Group I being played here and at the Bunyodkor Stadium, not too far away. So everybody in Group H and also in Group I will face each other twice, once here and once at Jeonbuk. No real home or away advantage discernible in either, of course. Nice pass from Mehmedovic to find Hanapi, slips it through, almost got to Bosniak. That's better from Tampines, just starting to get a bit of confidence here. Mehmedovic around the corner for Bosniak. Needs support. Nakamura looks for the 1-2. Clever back heel from Hanapi, didn't quite work. And Hanapi with the foul that releases the pressure. Jeonbuk very much in control, but they'll also be aware of the importance of goal difference here. As things stand, they are behind Gamba Osaka on goal difference so far. Gamba Osaka with a difference of +2. Jeonbuk's is +1. That's what it could all come down to between those two, and you only guarantee a spot in the round of 16 if you finish top. 3 of the 5 best second places from these 5 East groups that are currently ongoing will also make it. It's impossible to say with certainty, but if you get 12 points and finish second, that's almost definitely going to be enough to finish in one of those 3 best second place spots. 10 points might well be enough. 11 historically will probably get you there as well. The overlapping run of Lyon comes to nothing. Jeonbuk and Osaka both with 4 points so far. Shanghai United will want to think that they can spring a surprise as well after their late win against Tampines Rovers in match day 2, and Shanghai from Thailand will be in action later on against Gamba Osaka of Japan at Jeonbuk Stadium. So that's today's fixtures. Then match day 4 is on Sunday, where Osaka plays Shanghai United and Tampines Rovers play Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors again. So if they do end up at the end of this game sick of the sight of Jeonbuk, then unfortunately for Tampines they're going to be seeing them again in just 3 days' time in the so-called reverse fixtures. On with the throw. You can see at the bottom of your screen Gavin Lee, who's not happy, and he's got more to be unhappy about because Jeonbuk have made it 4. Total domination. Kim Sung-dae this time, more neat interplay. The Tampines Rovers defence is being cut open oh so easily, and the competition debutants are really being taught a lesson here by one of the heavyweights of Asian football. A lovely neat turn inside from Kim Sung-dae, and the finish with the outside of the right boot was gorgeous as well. Helped on to him by Kim Bok-young, and didn't he finish it well. Very impressive stuff from the Koreans. And it goes from not even bad to worse, worse to even worse, really, at this stage, you'd say. Still got 10 minutes until half-time here. It is 4-0 to Jeonbuk. Could make it 5 here as well. Almost turned in by Barrow at the far post. is already starting to become something of a rout, you'd have to say. I don't want to sound too cruel on Tampines by saying that it's already a case of just how many are Jeonbuk going to score, but the balance of the way the game's going, it's hard not to feel like we're very much in that territory. If Jeonbuk assuming they do go on to win this game, they'll go back top of the group with 7 points, heavily boosted goal difference, which will put the pressure on Gamba Osaka, who plays Shanghai United later on. Gustavo hunting his hat-trick, hunting it a bit too eagerly there. He's caught offside. Again, living dangerously, trying to play out from the back, but it's worked this time for Tampines. Until Nakamura was caught in possession by Barrow. Pretty much, I said that. I believe in the commentator's curse, and that was maybe such an example. Young. Losing out to Michael, who then gives it away. Jae-moon back for Young. Who's gone on the overlap, can't be found. Jae-moon. Takes the ball in and safety first at the back post. And conceded by Irfan Najib. Was thinking of going short, changed his mind. He's going to leave it for Pak Sung-ho to take it. Chance to get best aerial threats into the box. And now they do go short because they've stood off Barrow. Again by Sung-ho, away from Mohana. Again, he's up against the high press, but for once Jeonbuk have stood off. It's a loose pass though, Schnapp had no chance of getting that. Okyong, Barrow. It's a great ball, just inviting the run of Jin Song. Cross headed away by Mohana. Sung-ho. Barrow. He's got so much pace and skills, but at times just a touch too physical for referee Ibrahim's liking. Just pushing over Nakamura. Tampines known as the Stags, that's their animal mascot. Animal that's a symbol of wisdom, the antlers associated with the tree of life. In Chinese culture, in fact, a symbol of virility as well. But now they really are a side that are lacking a bit of energy, trying to find something from somewhere. Really up against it. They've actually, so that shows, had a fair bit of the ball in this half. Just most of those passes have been in their own territory, trying to play their way out of trouble. Kanati slides it through for Bosniak. Chance here, and Bosniak forces a save from Lee Pum-young. Got himself in a bit of an odd position. Left a real gap towards that far side of the goal. It's positioned right at that near post. Aikal wins it back. Bosniak slides it through, but too much on it. The run of Nakamura. Certainly will have plenty of support from home and across the world. Tampines, thanks to their two supporters groups, the Yellow Brigade and the Yellow Knights, put together a lot of field initiatives to bring community and the team close together. And in the pre-coronavirus era, had an average attendance of around 2,000 fans per game, known as best supporters in the league, certainly numerically the best in the league. Big fixture they're always looking for is it's their rivals Geylang International in the Eastern Derby. Part of a domestic four-way title battle this season. Tampines, they're fourth in the league currently. Top scorers in it, but the problem's been a bit of a leaky defence, and sort of fits a bit of what we've seen so far in this AFC Champions League. They've shown some really good stuff going forward without quite managing to score yet, and now they're under more pressure from Barrow, who overhits the cross. Good for number 5 before half-time. Young. Jae-moon helps it on. These are the kind of games that Tampines wanted to be in the AFC Champions League for, against the Warriors. So far are dominant. That man Barrow has been pretty helpful. Scored the first, and it's been involved in a lot of the good things that they've done. And their motors, who had a strange old season. They were top in mid-April, but then had a really poor run of things. 3 straight draws, then 3 straight losses, including a 4-2 home defeat against Ulsan Hyundai, who now lead the K-League 1. Also lost 10-9 on a penalty shootout to struggling 3rd division side Young Citizen in the Korean Cup last 16 game on the 26th of May. Defeat that has ended their hopes of a treble for this season of domestic cup and league, as well as the AFC Champions League. Would be an unprecedented treble if they were able to achieve it. Would be the first team to ever do so. Now though, chasing more goals. Lots of space here for Sungdae. The ball in, not really near anybody. Gustavo is in there hunting his hat-trick. Won't get it with service like that. He's had plenty of good service to gobble up today, and Gustavo now coordinating the press of white shirts as Tampines will look to play out from the back. Here's Daniel Bennett, 43-year-old defender who was actually part of the last team from Singapore to play in the AFC Champions League before Tampines in this year's competition. It was the Warriors back in 2009 and 2010. Mamedovic, space for Bosniak. He's had Tampines one good chance of the game. Onto his right. And palmed wide by Lee Pum-young. Not certain it was going in, but the goalkeeper wasn't to know that. He had to make sure. Bosniak just trying to curl it into that far corner. First corner of the game for Tampines, right on the stroke of half-time. And headed over by Madu Mahana, wasn't a bad chance. He's just having to run back for it though, so couldn't keep it down. Referee Ibrahim from Jordan brings to an end a dominant first half for Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors, chasing their third ever AFC Champions League title. Well, with swashbuckling football like this, they've got every chance. Modu Barrow gave them the lead in just the 5th minute, assisted by Gustavo. Gustavo himself scored 2 goals in 2 minutes in the 14th and 15th minute. And that meant it was 3-0 on the quarter of an hour mark. Then it became 4-0 10 minutes before half-time. Kingston Day, a neat turn and putting the ball away to put Jeonbuk in complete and utter control. They'll be chasing more goals in the second half to improve their goal difference, which could be so important when it comes to round of 16 qualification. For now, at half-time, Tampines Rovers once again struggling in the AFC Champions League, still yet to get a point or a goal, and they've got a lot of work to do in this second half. At the break, here at the Locomotive Stadium, it is Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors 4, Tampines Rovers 0.
يلا يا شباب. هم خلاص عاد اتليست مكتوب في القانون يعني. Three can or not can? Three can? Three can or can? No can?
Welcome back to the Locomotive Stadium for the second half of this AFC Champions League Group H clash between Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors and Tampines Rovers. The Warriors against the Stags. And right now, the Warriors are mauling the Stags, 4-0 up at half-time, pardon me. Gustavo with 2 goals in the first half. Got a bit of a delay because it's such a quick half-time. So Tampines Rovers attacking from left to right in this second half, still chasing their first goal or point of this AFC Champions League campaign, and while it seems very unlikely they're going to get their first point from this one now, chasing a consolation goal or two. As Jeonbuk looked to pile on the pain. Jeonbuk in all white, attacking from right to left. Very sharp half-time interval. Made it's only around 12 minutes or so. Both teams rapidly back on the pitch. I guess Anthony's probably in a bit of a rush to get this game done. It's been a pretty torrid first half for them to enjoy. Just a reminder, if you missed it, Modu Barrow gave Jeonbuk the lead in just the 5th minute. 2 goals from Gustavo in the 14th and 15th minute. And then Kim Sung-dae made it 4-0 10 minutes before half-time. Been one change at half-time. Lee Young, the right back and captain of this Hyundai Motors side, has come off. Lee Sung-yong has come on, very much likely to be a straight swap down that right flank for Jeonbuk. Crowd noise track kicking into life in this second half. We didn't have any artificial crowd noise in the first, so it seems a bit odd that it's sparked up out of nowhere for this second half. But of course, it goes without saying, as soon as it's safe and appropriate to do so, can't wait to have fans back in for big AFC Champions League nights. It's not quite the same without you, but still entertaining nevertheless. Foul on Kim Sung-dae. Had 57% of the ball in the first half. Jeonbuk, and comfortable on it, but also very purposeful. It's been a classy performance from a classy team. Domestic double winners last year. Some success on the continent. Gustavo gets called offside. Hyundai Motors, first team from East Asia to win this competition since it launched in its current format in 2003. Won it in 2006, beating Karama from Syria in the final. And then won it again in 2016, beating Alain from the UAE. Lost in 2011 to Al Saad from Qatar in the final as well. It does seem like it's a run of making the final of the AFC Champions League every 5 years, if you believe in superstitions, which would mean that this year would be their year to do so again. Certainly not a side short on ambition, Jeonbuk. Very open about their goal for fifth straight K-League 1 title, and second straight FA Cup. They've failed to defend that particular title. Schneid pushed. Imagine as well, with scoreline as it is, that Jeonbuk will maybe look to rest some of their key players like Gustavo and Barrow in particular. Gustavo will be in no mood to be taken off. He's on a hat-trick, of course. Very intense fixture this to cope with. As Barrow snipped in here. Barrow trying to slide it in. Fortune favouring Sazwan Buhari. Jimmy picks the ball up after the scramble defence from Tampines does just enough. By Nakamura. Put out by Sung Yoon. Asia's top 40 clubs in action, of course. Already got our 8 teams who've made it to the round of 16 from the West. And by the end of next week we'll be able to see the 8 teams who've made it from the East. Football really doesn't stop. Hang Steelers 2-0 winners earlier on today. Right now, Nagoya Grampus in action against Phetchaburi as well. Those games in Group G. And later on, the other game in Group H, Shanghai United will play Gamba Osaka. Sung Ho. Barrow. Cheeky flick inside. Space again for Sung Ho. Barrow left a bit frustrated. Sung Ho goes on. Low skimmer of a cross. Play by Daniel Bennett. Veteran defender. Like all of the Tampines backline has had a real tough test tonight. First corner of the second half. Jeonbuk chasing number 5 in this game. It's a ball in, only half away. Sung Dae. Kept alive. Sung Ho sets up the chance for Jae-moon. It's a ball in. Turned around the corner by Nakamura for second corner in succession. Floated up. Kept alive. Gustavo was in there, wanting that treble. Sung Dae. Yike. Sung Dae's ball in. Might hit one. Sliding tackle by Mehmedovic. Very high press on here from Jeonbuk. Doesn't quite work. Back out. Schnack loses out in the end. The other really impressive thing about this performance from Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors is it's all come with one of their leading lights on the bench and still not yet used. So they needs to have Jeonbuk. Only had 2 good seasons with K-League 1 rivals Pohang Steelers before being signed by the perennial champions Jeonbuk. Coming here and no offside flag, and number 5 for Barrow. Barrow's second of the game. He's injured himself in the process. And he's got the consolation joy of sliding in for his second in the match. It's just too easy for Jeonbuk. Put him behind by Sung Ho. And Kim Bok-young was unselfish. This might have shot, but realised the angle was acute. Set it back for Barrow, who got there ahead of Madhu Mohana. And that is number 6. Pardon me, number 5. So many goals. Might just be able to forgive me for briefly losing count. For Ibrahim, getting a big smile about something. Plenty to smile about for Jeonbuk, for Tampines. These are the moments that really test you as a footballer and as a football team. Here comes Gustavo. Might score for the second time straight from the kickoff in this game, Jeonbuk. Gustavo charging through, that will be a penalty. Gustavo will get a chance to complete his hat-trick. Well, it's self-inflicted wounds here for Tampines Rovers. It's the second time in this game where ended up pretty much straight from the kickoff being exposed and vulnerable. Clear foul by Irfan Najib. Didn't get the ball, got both of Gustavo's ankles. Made the referee's decision very easy. So Gustavo for his hat-trick up against Sazwan Buhari. Scores! And whacks it into the net in gleeful celebration. Gustavo has his treble to go with an assist for the very first goal of this game. A cool and calm penalty that he won himself. That was the foul from Irfan Najib. And he just wasn't going to miss, looked in confident mood. Waited for Buhari to move. Sent the keeper the wrong way. It is, in the blink of an eye, 6-0. Not dissimilar to the first half where Gustavo scored in the 14th and 15th minute. Scored straight from the kickoff again. Tampines Rovers switching off straight from the restart. So Barrow making it 5-0 in the 55th minute, just a minute later from the penalty spot. Gustavo making it 6-0. I did mention in the first half that we saw 2 7-0s in Group I the other day. Crashing United City 7-0 and Kawasaki Frontale beating very young second string Beijing FC side by the same score. Jeonbuk are only 1 short of that tally with more than a third of this game to go. So substitutions being made by Tampines just to try and stop the flow of goals more than anything else. Ryan Seniza coming off. It's striker Iman Hakim, who really hasn't had a kick up front. And he touched the ball, not necessarily for any fault of his own, to focus on defensive duties. See so many white shirts up there, pressing forward for Jeonbuk. Nipped into touch ahead of the onrushing Wozniak. So double change made by Tampines. I don't think it's a change in shape necessarily. Mizan coming on at the back. So straight swap for Seniza. All behind by Barrow. Could be number 4 for Gustavo. Is number 4 for Gustavo. Ruthless. 4 chances in this match and 4 goals for the Brazilian. He's having one of those days where he just doesn't miss. And it is 7-0 to Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors. Just picking the space between the two centre-halves. The through ball to Gustavo was magnificent from Barrow, who's been excellent. Barrow gets the first assist of the game to go with his 2 goals. Gustavo gets his 4th goal to go with an assist. High quality stuff from the Korean giants, who are really showing Tampines Rovers AFC Champions League football it's all about in terms of the quality. I wouldn't blame Tampines for tiring either. It's not far off 30 degrees temperature, still very humid despite the sun going down. It is thirsty and hot work out there. But they've conceded 2 goals from restarts of play after an initial goal, Tampines. But from this one, they've managed to get a corner. Their first corner in this second half. 6 black shirts up in the box. See Hanapi goes short though. Mamedovic gets the better of Barrow. Not the best cross on his weaker left foot though. Nakamura down. So a brief bit of respite this for Tampines, but fresh faces and fresh quality coming on for Jeonbuk to continue the assault as they push towards what could be double figures here. Gustavo's evening is done. He has to settle for 4 as his final tally. Park Sung-ho coming off as well. Also taking his lead is Kim Sun-dae, who scored the 4th goal, a fine strike 10 minutes before half-time. It's a substitution. Gustavo very much the man of the moment. Scored almost as many goals there as he had in the entire season so far. Headed back towards goal, but harmless for Lee Pom-young. Gustavo with 4 goals in this game. Coming into this match, had 6 goals in 16 games, which by no means the worst record, but it's into double figures for the season now thanks to that huge haul tonight. First look, it seems like Takahiro Kunimoto, who's just come on, take the role of Simho in central midfield. And number 7, Kyo Won, played down the right wing, having just come on for Kim Sundae. Hunting yet more goals, and of course as well Stanislav Jeonbuk coming on for Gustavo. What a player to be able to bring on when you're 7-0 up. Stanislav Jeonbuk, one of the key attacking players for Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors, just rested and rotated tonight onto the bench. Jeonbuk, who has 9 goals in 19 matches domestically this season, still yet to score. To score in match day 1, but in match day 2 got a goal in just the 2nd minute in the 2-2 draw against Gamba Osaka. He's got round the back here, and it almost falls for that man Yuchenko. And instead can briefly get it away. Side flag up. Body language tells you a lot, even if you didn't know the scoreline. Just looking at the expressions, the way the Tampines Rovers players are carrying themselves, you could probably guess they're a long way behind. Just look very dejected, understandably so. Anna. No foul. At this point, unquestionably a bit of a procession really for Jeonbuk. It's the hunt for number 8, Park Jin Song inside. Support arriving. One bad cross from Kunimoto, well gathered by Saswan Buhari. Tries to set Mehmedovic free. Wozniak puts one forward, and Appi was arriving unmarked. I mean, Wozniak trying to create something. He had a one-on-one in the first half where didn't quite convert it against Lee Pung-young. So not far off being at the exact midway point of this second half from being 4-0 up at the break. He added 3 goals to their tally in this second period, Jeonbuk. And it was trying to play it forward now for Haki Kaizan. So that's a speculative shot. It's as close as they've come to testing Lee Pung-young in the Jeonbuk goal tonight. I see Hanapi just decided, oh, I got to lose. It wasn't that far away, actually. Another corner for Jeonbuk. Chase get more goals. Snatched away by Buhari and smashed over. Decent chance to hit one on the edge of the box there for Jeonbuk. Got the assist for the 4th goal. Just trying to put his name to the own list of goal scorers. 4 for Gustavo, 2 for Modu Barrow, and 1 for Kim Sung-dae. Coming together in mid-pitch, referee Ibrahim wanted to play on, has to come back because Yasser Hanafi is down. Shrug of the shoulders from the Jordanian referee. To say that he didn't see much in that. To me, like Hanafi was caught. Really difficult day for the Tampines skipper Yasser Hanafi. Said that this competition would be a good gauge of where we stand. We're not going to make up the numbers, we're going to compete and try and win. After 3 games they will find themselves with 3 losses to their name, 10 goals conceded, possibly more depending on how these last 20 minutes or so go. Unless they can find a way through at the other end, they will remain scoreless. And just the 6th team in this competition ever to go scoreless and pointless in their first 3 AFC Champions League games. SHB Da Nang in 2006, Kichi in 2018. Let's win another corner. The 3 so far being Kodru and Shanghai United in 2020. Chaburi in 2021. Teams have suffered that fate of 3 straight losses and being unable to score in any of them. Of course, little time to recover with this fixture so tightly packed together. And clipped in. Turned around for 2nd corner in succession. And he's left frustrated. Something that they were feeling to referee Ibrahim about. He's been eager to let play go on where possible, the man in the middle. It's another near post corner. And he gets it away. And worked in again towards Lutchenko. And that is bread and butter for a striker of his quality. It's not been on the pitch long. You can't keep this man out of the goals. Into double figures this season. With one of the easier that he'll score. They're totally unmarked, 8 yards out. And immediately eager to highlight the contribution of the man who assisted him. Lovely floated ball in. Stanislav Lutchenko, 30-year-old, was not going to miss that. So it's yet another goal. Number 8 for Jeonbuk. Two changes for Tampines Rovers made just after that goal was scored. Save for Abdullah Aziz and Boris Kapitovic both brought on. So Tampines have made 4 of their 5 possible substitutions. memorable moments, this, for Tampines Rovers. AFC Champions League football was always going to be a step up, but sure they didn't really expect to be 8-0 down at any point. Spihaki Kazan picks up a yellow card. Chenko's second goal in this season's AFC Champions League group stages. Scored that only just the second minute against Gamba Osaka. Just one from him and then one from Kunimoto, the midfielder, that had them 2-0 up, but then brace from Patrick either side of the half-hour mark. 2 goals in 4 minutes from the Brazilian striker, pulled things back to 2-2, which is how it ended up. And more space here as they try for number 9, Jin Song. Going towards Jeonbuk, gets it down for Barrow. Lovely touch inside, and the finish to match. It is number 9. More gorgeous play from Jeonbuk, and Modu Barrow gets his hat-trick. It's 9-0 to Jeonbuk, and there's still just under a quarter of an hour to play for more goals to be added. Good cross by Park Jin-sung. Intelligent header from Yurchenko. Speaking of intelligence, what a cute touch it was here from Barrow. Daniel Bennett had gone in for the block. Understandably so. Fancy footwork from Modu Barrow. All too good. Tucks it away for his third. And then 9th. Chasing a consolation goal, Tampines, but Schnack comes to nothing. I tell you, this result, it won't surprise you to know, is working its way up the biggest ever wins in a single match in the AFC Champions League era. And the rate at which the goals have been going in, it's been almost working itself up on a minute-by-minute basis. Could be another here. Almost falls for Barrow. Tell you that if things stay as they are now, it will be the joint second biggest ever AFC Champions League win. This is in the AFC Champions League era with it in its current format as it's been from 2003 onwards. Fifth and final change for Tampines Rovers. I'm actually a bit surprised they're doing this because it's going to leave them exposed for the last 12 minutes or so. So Madu Mahan is coming off, and making the substitution now means that were they to have another injury, which is certainly very possible due to cramp in these hot, humid conditions, they'd have to play on with 10. So that is something of a risk. As Andrew, the substitute, comes on. When he turned 18 on March 29th. This is quite a baptism of fire of all the ways you'd want to make your AFC Champions League debut. I don't think you'd pick against the Korean giants Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors with them 9-0 up in the last 10 minutes, fast approaching. Still a great opportunity for the teenager to play on a stage like this. It's fired over. It's Nakamura. Encouraging his players from the bench. Tough day for him. And head coach in 2019, led them to second in the Premier League and Singaporean Cup win in their first season. And last season, second in wins of the Charity Shield, the Stags. Got a proud history, 5 Singapore Premier League titles, the last in 2013, 4 Singapore Cups, 5 Singapore Charity Shields, and Singapore League Cup as well. Under yet more pressure here though, going towards Lutchenko. Didn't quite make it there. Lutchenko again looking for it. Andrew just goes safety first into touch. To the last 10 minutes. By Bennett. Maybe Tampines can get consolation on the break. Still never scored in the AFC Champions League in this, their 3rd game in the competition. Towards Kapitovic, who couldn't bring it under control. Joint biggest ever wins in the AFC Champions League era, both by 15 goals to 0. Jeonnam Jeonbuk winning 15-0 against Tasik Kadiri, and then Gambro Osaka, Japanese giants, crashing Da Nang by the same scoreline. First of those victories coming in 2004, the second in 2006. This result, as it stands now, would be the biggest win in the AFC Champions League for a decade. Since Changchong Yatai, the Chinese side, won 9-0 against Persipura Jayapura. It's back in 2010. Fourth change of the evening. Lee Ji-hoon coming on to get a run out late on here for Jeonbuk. Got one substitution left if they need it. It's going to be a really tough test for Tampines, this, because once they do eventually get through to the, imagine, somewhat merciful full-time whistle of this game, then look up in the fixture list and who do they see playing them again in 3 days' time? Yeah, you guessed it, Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors. Except that one will be at the Nodcall Stadium rather than at the Locomotive Stadium. That's the only real difference. Jin Song. This cross led to Lutchenko's goal for the 8th. Lutchenko's in there, winning it back. Such a luxury to be able to bring a player like him on from the bench. Russian-born striker who's shone at the Jeonju World Cup Stadium, averaging roughly a goal every 2 games. Technical in the box, excellent movement, and good at creating chances for others as well. Spent his playing days in Germany. Might be about to get more service here, but one peters out down the left wing. Lutchenko making a good mark in his first ever AFC Champions League campaign. Now has a couple of goals already in his first 3 match days. And of course, match day 4 is coming on Sunday, the early game repeat of this fixture. And then the later game, a repeat of the match that is not far away from kick-off now, starting in just over 20 minutes or so. Chiang United, Thailand up against Osaka from Japan. Kapitovic can't create anything there. Good ball forward by Kunimoto, excellent ball forward by Kunimoto. Back, it's intended for Barrow. It was a poor pass, might still work out okay. Here is Kunimoto, decent cross, Yevchenko was waiting for it. Jae-moon, Jin Song floats one up, too close to Saswan Buhari. I mentioned that qualification for the round of 16 could end up coming down to goal difference. This definitely isn't going to harm Jeonbuk in that regard. They'll go on to 7 points from 3 games with goal difference of +8 as things stay as they are now. Osaka with a goal difference of +2 after they scored 2 unanswered goals against Tampines Rovers in match day 1. Patrick and Leandro Pereira doing damage there, but Jeonbuk have gone 7 better here. It's the Tampines side who's a bit tired in truth. It's a very testing, grueling fixture list. Teams playing 6 matches in just 15 days. Ji-hoon, Barrow. It's on up towards Yevchenko, can't quite make it 10. Just sort of pop up on your screen there that clubs from the East have been crowned champions 13 times since the AFC Champions League was brought forward in its current format in 2003. So the vast majority of the time the winners have come from the East. Current defending champions side competing domestically, the biggest rivals of Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors in terms of fighting for silverware in the domestic Korean front. Ulsan Hyundai, who are in Group F, well placed to qualify out of it. Nakamura helps it on. Bosnia. It's in a half decent ball. Worked away nicely though. Good link play from Yevchenko back there. Space for Barrow against a tied Tampines defence. Kunimoto. Kunimoto for 10. Saved, but Yevchenko's there. Might fancy to go himself. That's well saved again by Saswan Buhari. He's had a difficult day of things in goal. He's conceded 9 though. There's no particular goal that comes to mind where I'd say Buhari has had an individual nightmare. He's been badly unprotected by his defence. That kind of goes without saying when you've lost 9-0. Could yet be double figures. Would be just the 3rd time ever in the AFC Champions League that any team has scored 10 in an individual game. Headed away by Kapitovic. Jin Song. Barrow. Low ball in and turned wide. What a chance for number 10. Really good opportunity for Lee Ji-hoon. Even had time to take a touch. Wasn't a Tampines Rovers defender anywhere near him. Just poked a leg out at it first time. Frustration for young midfielder. Yet to score in domestic Korean football this season in his 14 appearances. Only 19 years old, could have had his first ever AFC Champions League goal. Tampines could have their first AFC Champions League goal. That shot from Nakamura is blocked. Into the last minute of normal time in this one. Young to Anton Young. He's gone a high press. Okyo. Barrow has loads of space and options flying forward in the centre. Barrow in and turned wide somehow from the edge of the 6-yard box. What a good chance that was to make it 10-0. Barrow was almost sport for choice about who to go for here. It's a nice run towards the near post, stabbed wide by the substitute. Hankyo won. Just 1 minute added on. Tampines Rovers will be desperate for the merciful blow of the full-time whistle from referee Ahmed Yaqub Ibrahim from Jordan. Comprehensive thrashing, the joint third biggest ever in AFC Champions League history, in the AFC Champions League era from 2003 onwards, just to be clear. Biggest win by any team in this competition in a decade. Could be even more though. And dragged wide from Hankyo Won. Second good chance in a matter of minutes. And that will be that. Tampines Rovers will be pleased that it's finally done. 4 goals in the first half for Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors, and they went even better in the second when they added 5 more. It is a huge win for them. Do wonders for their goal difference, which could yet be crucial in fighting with Gambro Osaka to finish top of the group and guarantee their place in the last 16. 3 goals for Modu Barrow, 4 for Gustavo, and then also chipping in with 1 each. Kim Sung-dae and Stanislav Yurchenko, the substitute, could have easily been double figures as well with the late chances that Jeonbuk had. Tampines Rovers become just the 6th team to lose 3 straight AFC Champions League games and fail to score in them. It's a horrible start to life in the AFC Champions League for them. A comprehensive win for the side from Korea. Remember that there is a second match in Group H starting very shortly between Shanghai United and Gambro Osaka, but for now, here at the Locomotive Stadium, the full-time score is Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors 9, Tampines Rovers 0.
From the match commissioner, not from you. You want to take it, not for me.